things that John was most eager to talk about was his relationship with his son, Sean.
The other day I got to see him for a good hour without any event going on, without he was busy or I was busy or something happening. And there was something on TV, we were sort of half watching it, we were lying in the bed together. And it was something about models or something, and he's lying there next to me, he says, when I grow up, I want to be just a daddy. I said, I see. I said, you mean that you wish I wasn't making this record, right? And I was being just a daddy. He says, yeah, that's right. So I said, well, you know what? I said, remembering all these housewives I'd seen interviewed, they got liberated. I could hear myself talking. I was saying, well, you see, it makes Daddy happy to make the music. And if Daddy's happy, then when he's with you, he'll have less tension, Because he knows what tension is. He knows when I'd get tense would be when I was torn or unfulfilled, And I said, it doesn't take long. It'll only be another week or something like that. And then I'll be back here with you, And he says, because I have him to the studio, once or twice a week to let him see what's going on. He says, but you don't do anything. You just sit there. So he hadn't seen me performing with the musicians or singing, the first session, because I was too nervous after 5 years, or even after 2 weeks. First sessions, I'm always very hyper, so I would be rude to him or offhand, which can hurt him for a week, one offhand remark, they're so sensitive. So he missed the exciting part, which is when everybody's banging and playing. And I didn't bring him into overdubs. And I was generally sitting in the seat there, listening to overdubs. And I said, well, I'm listening there. He says, no, but you didn't, I said, it's just like a big tape recorder. He says, I know that, you explained that, but you didn't even touch it, meaning that Jack and Lee, the engineer, were touching it. I was thinking, oh, he thinks I just don't do anything. And what he's saying is that what I'm doing isn't worth, if it's not that much fun, his idea of fun is action, if you're leaving me just to sit in the seat, So, we're that close that it is painful. I'm feeling guilt-ridden and racked because, what's a record compared with Child? It's nothing. But still, I have to do it.
More than almost anyone, John Lennon knew about the pressures of the music business. During our conversation, we talked about that.
If you think about it, I've been under pressure since I was 21 or 2. That's in public, that's been very famous. 22 is when I signed the first contract. So I've been producing sort of under pressure for almost 12 years or 15 years. I don't know how long it is, from 1962 up till 1974. That's a long time to be expected to and churning out thousands upon thousands of things. And there comes a point where I don't want to just churn out stuff that's just craft, even if it was a hit, presuming it was popular, that was just well crafted. Because I'm not interested in being a craftsman. I am a craftsman anyway. I've learned my trade and my craft from being in the studio and performing all those years. But I'm not interested in sustaining myself on my past reputation and getting away with it by craftsmanship, like some, let's say, older singers can do that. If you were just a singer, you get to be 50, 60, whatever, and your voice isn't so good, but your stage presence is such that you can, it's not fake it, but you can do certain things that people sort of, somebody said they saw Elvis, I would never see him, although I worshipped him before he went in the army and when I was a kid. But I would never go and see him in Vegas or anything like that. I asked a great fan of his, who was Mal Evans, used to work for us. I said, well, what was it like, And he says, well, if you pretended that you were 16, then it was all right. You see, and I don't want to be a person where people have to pretend they're 16 to be able to watch me.